In a galaxy not so far, far away, nestled in a corner of the vast cosmic vegetable patch, our story begins. The brave Luke Skywalker, along with his loyal companions, was concocting a plan. A plan so daring, so audacious, it could only be for one reason: to rescue their friend, the dashing Han Kyuk. Han, known for his quick wit and even quicker piloting skills, had been captured. He was now frozen in a block of solidified jello, a prized possession of the most vile gangster in the Outer Rim systems, the one and only Jabba the Cabbage. Jabba, a grotesque, oversized cabbage with a slimy disposition, held court in his palace, a colossal, stinky compost bin on the desert planet of Tatooine. The air was thick with the smell of decay and despair, a fitting home for such a rotten vegetable. Our heroes knew the risks. Jabba's palace was heavily guarded by Gamorrean gherkins, brutish pickles with a penchant for smashing things, and a host of other unsavory characters from every corner of the vegetable basket. But friendship is a powerful force, and they would not let Han Kyuk rot in Jabba's collection. The team consisted of Luke Skywalker, a young hero still mastering his connection to the all-powerful Force Tylizer, Princess Tomato, the fiery and resourceful leader of the Rebel Salad Alliance, Chewbacca, Han's co-pilot, and a giant, furry rutabaga whose roars could shake a greenhouse, and the trusty droids, C-3PO, a golden sweet pea fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, and R2-Bean 2, a spunky little kidney bean full of tricks and secret plans. Their plan began with the droids. C-3PO and R2-Bean 2 were sent to Jabba's palace gates, carrying a holographic message from Luke. They shuffled nervously up to the giant iron door, where a creepy, mechanical eyeball stalk popped out to inspect them. C-3PO, ever the worrier, stammered out their purpose. They were a gift, he explained, a token of goodwill to the mighty Jabba. The gate creaked open, and the droids were swallowed into the dark, smelly interior of the compost bin palace. Inside, the scene was one of utter chaos. Jabba the Cabbage sat upon his throne, a mound of decomposing lettuce leaves, laughing a deep, gurgling laugh. His court was a bizarre menagerie: shady scallions, shifty shiitake mushrooms, and a band of alien gourds playing a strangely catchy tune. The droids were put to work immediately, much to C-3PO's dismay, serving drinks to the rowdy clientele. Next came Princess Tomato, disguised as a bounty hunter named Bausch, mysterious figure clad in a helmet made from a hollowed-out butternut squash and a raggedy cloak of kale leaves. She slipped into the palace under the cover of darkness. She spoke in a distorted, chirping language, thanks to a voice modulator hidden in her helmet, and presented her prisoner, the mighty Chewbacca, bound in energy vines. Jabba was impressed. He loved a good show of force. He tossed a few credit coins made of dried apple chips at her feet and ordered Chewbacca to be taken to the dungeons. Princess Tomato had successfully infiltrated the palace. Her primary mission was now within reach. Later that night, when the palace was quiet except for the snores of Jabba and his guards, Princess Tomato tiptoed through the throne room. There it was, Han Kyuk, encased in his shimmering, wobbly prison of green jello, hanging on the wall like a grotesque piece of art. Her heart pounded in her chest. Using a thermal detonator cleverly disguised as a small, spicy jalapeno, she carefully began to melt the jello. The substance sizzled and dripped, slowly revealing Han's form. He was groggy, disoriented from the long hibernation. "Princess, is that you?" he mumbled, his voice weak. "Shh. We have to be quiet," she whispered, pulling off her helmet. But just as Han Kyuk was almost free, a disgusting, wet laugh echoed through the hall. Jabba the Cabbage had been awake the whole time. A trap door opened beneath their feet, and they tumbled down into the darkness, captured. Jabba was furious. He had Princess Tomato chained by his side, forcing her to wear a ridiculous slave lettuce bikini, while Han Kyuk was thrown into the dungeon with Chewbacca. It seemed all hope was lost. But the final piece of the plan was about to fall into place. Luke Skywalker, now a confident Jedi Knight in training, arrived at the palace. He strode in, his green skin shimmering under the dim lights, a simple brown cloak covering his shoulders. "I am Luke Skywalker, a Jedi Knight," he announced, his voice calm but firm. "I'm here for my friends. Release them, or you will pay the price." Jabba and his court erupted in laughter. A Jedi Knight? They hadn't seen one of those in ages. "Your powers will not work on me, boy," Jabba gurgled, waving a slimy leaf hand dismissively. He ordered his guards to seize Luke. But Luke was ready. With a flick of his wrist, 2 Gamorrean gherkins were sent flying into a pile of discarded banana peels. He reached for his weapon, not a lightsaber made of plasma, but a glowing, green celery stalk that hummed with energy. The battle was on. The throne room exploded into a comical whirlwind of flying vegetables. Luke used his Force Tylizer powers, causing nearby potted plants to grow at an incredible rate. Vines shot out, ensnaring guards. Giant sunflowers sprouted, blinding Jabba's minions with their bright yellow petals. Chewbacca, having broken free from his cell, joined the fray, tossing angry potatoes like grenades. C-3PO shrieked and dodged flying bits of food, while R2-B2 zapped the feet of guards with little bursts of electricity. In the midst of the chaos, Princess Tomato saw her chance. She leaped up, wrapping her chains around Jabba's thick stalk neck. With all her might, she pulled as the vile cabbage flailed and gasped. Meanwhile, Lando Calrissian, a smooth-talking sweet potato who had been working undercover as a guard, freed Han and Chewbacca from their remaining restraints. The tide of the battle had turned. With one final, gurgling gasp, Jabba the Cabbage went limp. The reign of the slimy gangster was over. The palace dwellers, seeing their leader defeated, panicked and fled in every direction. To the sail barge, Luke yelled over the din. The team fought their way out of the stinking compost bin and across the sandy dunes to Jabba's luxury sail barge, which was parked nearby. But they weren't safe yet. A skiff loaded with Jabba's most loyal guards, led by the infamous bounty hunter Boba Fett Uxine, rose up to intercept them. Boba Fett Uxine, wearing his iconic mandolin-shaped helmet, fired his blaster, narrowly missing Han. The battle continued high above the sand. Han, despite his hibernation sickness, grabbed a pole and accidentally knocked a temporarily blinded Boba Fett Uxine off the skiff. The bounty hunter tumbled down, into the waiting maw of the Sarlacc pit of bread, a giant, fearsome creature that lived in the sand, known to digest its food over 1,000 years. With their pursuers defeated, our heroes finally made their escape. The sail barge soared away from the planet of Tatooine, leaving the chaos and the stench behind. Back with the Rebel Salad Alliance fleet, a great victory feast was held. There was laughter, celebration, and plenty of fresh, delicious food, the kind you actually want to eat. Han Kyuk, fully recovered, clapped Luke on the shoulder. "I owe you one, kid," he said with a smirk. Princess Tomato smiled, a true, warm smile of relief and triumph. Their little band of vegetable heroes had faced the most rotten gangster in the galaxy and had won. Their bond was stronger than ever, ready for whatever the cosmic vegetable patch would throw at them next. The adventure was over, but their story was far from finished. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more galactic adventures.